the SAT model. I think the spirit with which the SAT presenters have tried to share with us today is to give us a glimpse, to open a window on 30 years of experience of the SAT program's evolution. And I think it is a learning process, and it is never going to end. This is something that is constantly in a process of action, reflection, consultation. And then back to the action stage. The books that you've experienced today, likewise, are in a constant state of revision. And this is to reflect not only the changing needs and the circumstances, but the changing times and the changing demands. There's no way that an educational program in its conception and the materials that it creates can be static. It has to reflect the learning dynamic within which we live. And that is really part of what the SAT program is doing. The question of where it is and where it's going in its application in other countries, I think that one of the principles that Sohail mentioned was even at the local level, the SAT program is introduced at the request of a community. It is not something that one goes and imposes. And so as people learn about this system and they get excited about its potential to help raise up the capabilities of individuals and local community organizations and to establish new ideas of what partnership looks like, then the conditions are created for the SAT program to be implemented. There's been so much learning. At the CSD in particular, we're seeing and talking a lot about the importance of partnerships. And I don't think that we can stress enough the importance of the learning that has taken place in SAT with regard to the local community, with the family, with community-based organizations, with the local government, working in harmony with state government, working in harmony with central policy. The sustainability of the SAT system to make sure that it never becomes dependent on a single external donor. What the SAT system, both in Colombia and its application in Honduras, has done is, as it's found new needs and discovered other places where innovation and experimentation is required, it turns to other donor institutions and it says, we need assistance for this component. And it frames that component with the aspiration of learning. And some of that is infrastructural, because some of the lessons learned are that we need better infrastructure for the SAT centers. But once that learning has taken place, then it can be shared and applied in the other countries, and other learning opportunities are created. And over the years, in addition to the level of support that you see from families and from parents and from governments and from the collaborating NGOs, has been a healthy response from the international financial institutions and donor organizations. Specifically the Canadian International Development Agency, the Inter-American Development Bank, DFID in the UK, several private foundations, and other Irish Aid has been specifically helpful. IDRC in Canada in terms of looking at this question of the spiritual component and looking at the role of religion in the context of development. All of these have played part of the process in the evolution of the SAT system in the past 30 years. So when it comes to this question of now other countries, again, it's going to be demand-driven. But the purpose of sharing with you the importance of the conceptual framework and the underlying principles and the philosophy that you all so well articulated after having experienced just for a few minutes, you can see how important it is when we're looking at any kind of application of the SAT system, how integral it would be to ensure the integrity of that conceptual thinking. So when expansion considerations or options come up, that is of the utmost importance. The willingness to work with that conceptual framework and to work in a spirit of learning to contribute to it. So it is with those thoughts that I think we will draw to a close our session I would be remiss to not extend our thanks to the Baha'i international community, and more specifically to the learning team of the CSD for having created this opportunity. And we hope that even though you've only got a little snapshot of an ongoing video, that it has been inspirational and it has given you a sense of hope that there are some things out there that are lending a lovely contribution to the well-being of humanity. So thank you very much.